Hey guys, thanks for joining me at Pittsburgh Prep. Hoon here, and we are tackling lesson number 5 in reading comprehension. In the final major category of passage types, I want to talk to you guys about rhetorical passages. Rhetorical passage types are the sort of passages that you would read in magazines such as The New Yorker or The Atlantic, and the topics can be wide and varied and deep. They will talk to you about philosophy or social sciences or even sciences where the author has something to prove and a position that they want to impart onto you. So, one of the classic things, just like in any other passage type that we had tackled together, one of the classic ways that you want to tackle rhetorical passages is having a particular strategy. And a strategy when it comes to rhetorical passage types is to understand first, let's recognize what the thesis is. So in that respect, this is really one of those classic passage types that you have been reading all along throughout your high school career. So first and foremost, identify the thesis, something that the author wants to prove. Remember, the thesis doesn't have to come at the very beginning of a paragraph, doesn't have to come at the end, but it will show itself via a very clear and logical presentation of the author's wording. So once you have identified the thesis, then you want to identify the author's point of view. What is the author's point of view, and how do you determine that? Well, once again, look for the author's diction and the context. How does the author present the author's words, and how can you determine, by utilizing the understanding of those words, how can you understand what the author's position is? And then finally, what are some of the data points or statistics and or reasonings that the author provides so that the author can bolster his argument that his position is correct when it comes to the thesis. So keep all of these things in mind. It's a very clear and straightforward strategy that you want to really arm yourself with once you recognize all rhetorical passages. So reading is tough, right? Especially if you don't have a natural love for reading. So one of the things that I have noticed in my years of teaching is that, and this also is a point of fact from the National Literacy Council and having read their annual reports and such, you really want to tackle facets of reading comprehension that you probably have major deficiencies in. One of those deficiencies is probably vocabulary. And really, there's no better way for you to learn vocabulary than at this stage, rote memorization. Pick any vocabulary kind of book that you can get your hands on from the library or from the bookstore or even online utilizing software like Quizlet, and try to really work through 300, 500 to 1,000 vocabulary words right now. Apart from that, you want to really read as much as possible. If you yourself know that you're not someone who likes reading, you want to try to pick subject areas where you have deep interest in. I remember when I was in high school, I didn't really particularly enjoy reading, but I loved sports, especially the New York Yankees. And so I forced myself every day to pick up a copy of the New York Times, and I read through from cover to cover the entire sports section of the New York Times. And knowing that the New York Times utilizes, even in their sports section, high-level vocabulary, collegiate-level writing and grammar, I knew that that would help me to really endure the sort of reading tested on the college entrance exams. And by golly, and by gosh, by golly, and it really, really did. So pick a topic that you like, pick a reputable news magazine or journal, and try to get through your reading every day. That's probably the best advice that I can give you as a professional. If you really want to improve in your reading comprehension section on your college entrance exams, the first thing to do is obviously understand the formatting, possess the proper strategies, and really get used to the kinds of passages and apply these methods over and over so that you will reinforce them and get better at them. That's first. The second strategy that you should employ is to develop a habitual reading process where you tackle reading on a daily basis. Even if you don't like it, pick a subject area and a news magazine and stick with it every day, all right? Don't skip over vocabulary words that you don't know, and make sure that you make this into an active process. And if you can do that, I guarantee you that you will see some actual measurable results and a habit that will stay with you for the rest of your life that can only enhance your life. All right, you guys, enough pep talk for the day. You've already completed the majority of the lessons in the reading comprehension section in our textbook. So keep going. I absolutely congratulate you for getting here. Not many people will be able to do that. So make sure to go forward and stay strong. And I will see you guys in our next lessons.